Wrestling fans, it is now time to enter Main Event City!
Hi, everybody. Everybody say hi.
Hi.
Quinn, where did you go? Oh, wait, Quinn has a cat.
She was screaming at me.
Really?
Yeah.
You want it to be on camera?
Yeah. She's a bit of a camera hog.
Aren't we all?
We're boosting out animals.
Yeah. So, hi, welcome to episode 3 of A Match Made in Hell. I'm your GM, Walter Fulbright, and we're here with many members of the regular crew. We have Sarah the Rebel, Quinn McKay back with us, Dark Sheik, Anton Voorhees for tonight's adventure. Yay! So, yeah, we'll get right into it. You knew this was coming. Who wants to give everybody a quick update of what happened last time, or who remembers what happened last time?
I fell asleep against the wall last time. I remember that.
There were potential ghouls and a red mist quickly approaching, and perhaps peril on the horizon for some.
Very true. Yeah. Very true. You were your investigator, who is not with us today, but will be played by me because Shugdi is at an undisclosed location.
Are you going to do the accent?
I'm not. I am going to.
Oh, do a different.
You know what? I will. I will do a. I will interpret Dumas de la Soul as I see. I will see how that goes, and I will do Dave for Sophie as well.
Ooh, so many voices.
Yep.
I was so concerned that
Robin
they were not going to be an ogre.
Well, no, we'll definitely. Dave will be involved. Plus, you might need it. So, yeah, you uncovered like sort of the story of what happened in this halfling dairy farmhouse, and at the very end, you will remember that another halfling had burst through the floorboards,
right,
where Liam, your great uncle, had buried something and was crawling with teeth and claw towards. I believe it was Dave, because I believe Dave actually ripped up the floor because they were the ones strong enough to do it. Does that sound right?
Great aunt.
That sounds
Perfect cat.
Yep.
Somebody kill her again.
Yep.
That's my aunt. I give you permission.
We were also finding pages of a diary. Did you say that? I kind of.
Oh, right. Because you guys bullied me so much about the fact that I was illiterate, I learned how to read.
Oh.
That was quick.
Thank you.
That was actually something that Shug said in his email about this week's game, is that he hoped that someone would learn how to read.
Look
To,
how
I
we're
know how to
honoring
read.
him.
I'm
Very
actually
happy.
very educated.
Anton's
Yeah.
character can read.
he's just really drunk and like
Yeah.
potentially like, yep.
Some of the best
Oh.
readers are.
I don't need to learn how to read. I just need to kill.
Right, Slayer.
Speaking
That
of
one.
which, I think we're going to have to jump right into where we were, which was that a hideous and fateful beast was clawing at Dave and coming its way out of the floorboards. So we're going to need everybody to actually roll initiative.
It's like Evil Dead.
Yep. So your roll initiative is a 1d10, and you add your initiative bonus from your character sheet if you know where that's at.
I wrote it.
I
There
think I
it is.
remember that coming up.
Where is the initiative bonus? Oh, I found it.
Oh,
Got it.
where did you find that?
Next to movement and encumbrance limit.
Oh,
Next to movement and
Whoa.
encumbrance. That, yes, it's 8. Mine is 8.
I
Okay.
actually did
So you
this
roll
one.
yeah. So you roll a 10-sider and add 8 to that number and tell me what you got.
I'm
10.
so bad at math.
You rolled a 2 on your 10-sider?
Yes.
All right, I can help you, Sarah. Don't worry. All right, roll your 1 10-sided dice, one of these suckers.
I got a 10 total as well.
All right, that's pretty bad for you, isn't it? You usually go pretty fast. I think.
I'm a 6
Yeah.
plus 7.
No, you got 13.
Woo.
I got an 11.
Oh,
All right.
I thought it was okay now. I noticed it's on the low end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
But maybe she's on the really, really low end because she's like dead, Ghoul.
It checks out.
She has to be like hindered.
yeah, I'm actually afraid that is not really the case, but it is going to take the ghoul at least a movement action in order to climb out of the floorboards.
Wait, is she one of fast zombies?
Not too many good ones.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And she is clearly trying to claw her diseased fingernails into Dave's leg. There's no
Not
question
Dave,
about
no!
it.
I
Yeah.
What kind of disease do the fingernails have?
Probably some sort of zombie ghoulism. It is just sort of.
I don't know.
It's just sort of like the like a dead body, like she's starting to experience rot. Like they're
Gross. Got it.
yeah, you can smell her. It's definitely like an old body left in the sun kind of smell. It's not good.
she
very
looks like
similar.
me, but old and dead.
Probably almost undistinguishable at this point. Yeah, you do notice, and I said this at the last time, that she has several large, gaping, like knife wounds in her back that you can see from where she is. She is crawling out
Rough.
Oh,
of that. So,
I can't wait to murder you.
Sarah, remind me what your Slayer's name is, actually.
Shenzi.
That's right.
Kenzie.
Yeah, I forgot to save my notes from last time. Got it. Okay. All right. So, all right. Unfortunately, this ghoulish creature actually does have the jump, particularly on Dave, and is able to claw her way on the pried up floorboards and come to a full stand and sort of lunges at Dave, actually, like an animal, really clearly not in state, but she kind of claws and like bites, but is unable to get through Dave's like thick skin. Dave kind of takes her and throws her to the side, and she sort of scrambles, kind of like a chastised cat that you've thrown off the bed, sort of like scrambles its limbs. It looks, even though it's clearly a halfling woman, it is alien and inhuman. Like, her behavior no longer makes any sense. So it has gone to, well, a lot of people going on 10s of 10s. Lincoln Bright Eyes, actually, you hear the commotion coming from the other room where you were catching some shut eye and sort of languishing in a, if I remember correctly, a half-drunk haze from the.
That's pretty much my life. Yes.
So you hear this commotion, and you hear Dave particularly let out a sort of guttural, underwater slow motion scream, as only Dave can do, sort of a, and there's clearly a scuffle going on from the bedroom.
Like someone getting beaten in Street Fighter 2. Like,
Yeah, you lose.
Very
There
well
are
done.
really bad elephant noises. But yes, it's your turn. What would you like to do? Yes, very good.
I guess I'm gonna draw my sword and go see what the commotion is. I'm gonna
All right.
charge up in there.
All right. What is your movement on your character sheet? What is your speed?
My movement is an 8.
All right. That is going to be enough for you to take a move action and be able to close in to the bedroom. It's a little crowded in here, but with the chaos and with the bed pushed out of the way, there's enough room, even though Dave has to hunch underneath the door frame in order to fit their 9-foot tall head into this. Do you want to you have the sword in hand and you come rushing in to see this scene that I've described?
Sure.
Take a strike.
Yeah, it's like crawling, right? It's crawling at Dave, or has it stood up, or what?
Sort of on its haunches is the best way I could describe it.
All right.
It's at the ready. It's not prone or fallen to the ground. It's sort of it's like haunched like an animal.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna try to like slide in between Dave's legs and slice at this this zombie while singing "Zombies" by the Cranberries.
An unfamiliar tale. Everyone feels that the voice is very, very shrill and irritating.
Moms.
My wife actually had a roommate in college, apparently, who would only listen to like a 10-second part of one Cranberry song like over and over and over again. Like not a roommate, but like a suite mate, like on the other side of the wall. Apparently it was like the same like crooning part of a Cranberry song just on repeat. So I think of that every time. But that being said,
Didn't want to pay for the whole song.
we're going to call that a perilous stunt, is what we're going to call that. Yeah, which is not a bad thing. I'll give you extra damage if you are able to succeed at your attack. Your attack. I'll give you extra damage if you are able to give me a martial melee. I'll give you extra damage if you are able to give me a martial melee. I'll give you extra damage if you are able to give me a martial melee. I'll give you extra damage if you are able to give me a
martial melee.
All right. So what is your base percent chance with that skill?
44 is my base.
Okay.
chance.
So add the 10 for having a skill in martial melee, so 54. And then since it's hard, you'll get bonus effects if you're able to succeed, but it goes down by minus 20%. So you have a 34% chance to do it. Roll those dice.
I got a 30.
He slides underneath the giant ogre's legs and comes up with a slash right across the jaw of the
Zombie.
All right. So what I want you to do for me at this point is roll me roll me 2 6-sided dice.
I can do that.
And if you roll a 6 on either one, those explode, which means that you add 6 and then keep rolling the 6-sided dice. This happened to you before, if you'll remember.
Yes. I do.
Hello.
All right.
Yes, it gets.
I got a 5 and a 3.
All right. And what is your combat bonus? Your CB score?
44.
You got a thing next to it called a CB score next to it. A CB is like a +4,
Oh, I'm
+5.
sorry. 4.
All right. You rolled a 5 and a 3?
Yes.
All right. You did 12 damage. You were able to penetrate the ghoul's skin and draw blood, and it hisses at you, but it definitely hasn't been put down to where it will not be able to keep fighting. It is definitely still raring to go. All right. And we are moving on, and we have Shenzi. You are actually the next go. You
Time for
see this
murder.
unfolding before you.
Yes, good. I want to hit her with my sword.
With your sword?
My
Do you want to
sword
do the dual wielding? Do you want to have the do you have like the sword and the
and the axe.
axe? Yeah. All right. You see Shenzi pull out a sword in one hand and the axe in the other and begin slaying. Now,
And
just so
I
you
also
know,
sing zombie at the same time.
just so
Like
you
I
know, of
join in.
course.
Yeah.
You guys are harmonizing as you attack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like find a creature that's named with a better song just so I can like not hear the cranberries in my head. I'll have to come up with just characters from the bestiary that are named
Remember
after
how I
them,
didn't like
definitely.
Quinn's cookie tweet? This is me not liking what you just said. Just like,
You should say that after you roll the dice. No, I'm just
listen,
kidding.
I'm gonna be fine. I'm
All
a
right, all right.
player.
All right, so go ahead and roll to hit. It is your martial melee skill.
The roll to hit is the D100, right?
Yes.
Okay. 14, and my martial melee is a 65.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know that you were able to hit with that. All right. You also roll 2d6 because this is your favorite enemy. While you were coming through the wood, this was the last thing that you killed.
I just
another
rolled
goal.
2 6s.
Seriously?
Yep.
Keep on rolling.
Woohoo!
Roll those dice again, both of them.
A 2 and a 5.
All right, so you did 12 plus 7. You did 19. And what is your combat bonus score, your CB
7.
score? Plus 7. So,
Golly.
yeah, with 2 quick slashes, Shenzi is able to cut diagonally once and diagonally again across the ghoul.
X-Men.
This definitely digs into it really, really hard. It is still alive. However, we are going to roll dice to see if it is wounded. See if it maintains the wound. Actually, no, we are not, because ghouls do not sustain wounds. Even when they have broken bones, they basically function exactly as they would.
Whoa.
Yeah, they don't, since they don't feel or think, they don't react to until they actually basically get chopped apart.
Aim for a
They
limb.
continuously go, yeah, they keep coming. All right, so the ghoul, which is almost certainly her great aunt and Liam's wife, Pam, has been taken into a great many bloody pile. All right, I need for Jack and the nameless one to roll a 10-sider and tell me who rolls higher, because you guys are tied.
Nine.
6.
All right, so Sheik, you are the nameless one will go first. You see
Okay.
the Slayer jump into action and just a whirlwind of blades following up on Lincoln Bright Eyes' slash. They are black,
Beautiful.
horrid stench blood is flying across the room. The place is really, really starting to reek in here. But this ghoul is definitely taking a beating. What do you want to do?
Gross.
Not much. You know, my weapons are very close range, so I'm not super interested in engaging. Can I try and sneak up from behind and get him with the garrote?
Yeah, you want to try to
The old strangle?
yeah, the thing is that the ghoul doesn't really breathe,
Oh,
so it
any
won't
second.
really strangle very well. That being said, you could sneak up behind and get like a shot into a delicate place with your knife, if you like.
Yeah. Let
where,
me.
where the skin will be a little softer.
I want to slice their Achilles tendon.
See if you can profit it from
I know,
that.
dark chic. Sorry.
It's like my worst fear. Like literally my worst fear. Underneath
Was
the
it-
car, just
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I'm
It
so
was like-
scared of it. Ever since I read Greek mythology.
Okay. For me, it was hostile. I think.
so
That's
not
kind of what I'm
really.
going for. Kind of hostile. This school.
Yeah. Hostile for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
I still think of the urban myth about like walking up to your car and like
Yeah.
having somebody hiding underneath your car. I still think of that one.
What
Yeah.
the
Right.
fuck, guys? Why did you tell me that?
You know, I thought you knew. I'm really sorry about that. That was totally something from like the 80s and 90s.
Those are
Yeah,
tough
that was on
times.
my driving test. It was like, hey, remember, check under your car.
Really? No, you can't be. You gotta be. No,
I already look for bombs like since the Lethal Weapons. So I'm like ahead of it here.
Yeah.
Metal boot. for the rest
All
of
right. You are going to be using your simple melee skill, which is what a
Mhm.
dagger is.
Oh, cool.
Yes. And since you're attempting to do something specific, you will also face a hard check. So it is a minus 20%. But with greater effect if you succeed.
Okay.
Yes.
I
I'm rolling.
I have a question. It says successful melee foe must resist stunning blow because I have low blow.
Yep.
Did I do that? Or should I
You-
just make sure I do it next time?
It doesn't actually, it has to be on a creature that it'll work on, which is to say
Oh, cool.
something with living, like it can't, the ghoul can't be stunned.
Okay.
Basically. But yes,
Can't
on most
stun a
creatures,
ghoul.
it would work. Yeah, it will not, the shot to the genitals will not work on the,
I just wanted to yell clam bake, but okay, thank you.
Yes, I appreciate your, you'll get that chance. Don't worry. That will come.
We'll find it.
All right. Roll those dice for me if you would, Chief.
Oh, I did. I got 54.
Okay. That's probably not quite enough.
Oh.
Yeah, you were, because your skill is what?
I mean, I got skullduggery.
Remind me what that does. Do you have that handy?
You know, what doesn't it do?
I mean,
It's really so versatile. It,
What
no, I don't
doesn't
have that
it
like
do?
right in front of me.
yep. All right.
Close.
So basically, yeah, you kind of, I'll say the knife like cuts in, but there doesn't seem to be like the creature has blood that is pooling in unusual ways around its body. And as you slice into its ankle, no blood comes out. It feels like it is clotted up and is some sort of weird bloating, like a mass of old blood. It's a very, very unusual thing.
That's a shame.
But that being said, it does sort of engage it and distract it as you all sort of surround it. And Jack, you are up. You see all of these new strangers that you've met basically piling on top of your great aunt and stabbing and slashing and hacking what used to be a beloved relative of yours.
So since this is a beloved relative of mine, and I'm not from the area, but I'm like familiar with it, have I like heard any stories about this before? Do I have any knowledge of this, or am I just blind?
In terms of what might be happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is and the nameless one kind of indicated this earlier, and you've heard of these in children's stories. They're referred to as ghouls. You've heard of people who are no longer dead, essentially. Okay. Not anything you would have ever seen other than the Slayer in life before.
Yeah.
But you've heard of it in children's stories. This is obviously not your aunt.
Well, fighting is not really my strong suit. So let's see what we've got.
I think it's good to know your strengths. I'm excited to see
This isn't one of them.
All right.
Get there, unless I die.
All right. What'd you get?
A 98.
Well, good news. It's not a critical failure.
Excellent. Didn't fall on my own sword.
You didn't hurt anybody or do anything, but yeah, it's clear that your heart isn't really, even though you understand that it's not your great aunt, it's difficult to do. It's weird to raise weapons against her.
Maybe I'm just bad at fighting also.
Also, yes, that also could be. I was going to give you an out.
I believe in honesty.
All right. So, meanwhile, Dumas is sort of backing into
Hey,
a corner, stumbling like through his bags, trying to find something. He either to draw out something to attempt to get in the fight, or look for maybe an intoxicant to take the edge off, as you've seen him do on multiple
I keep offering him
occasions.
poison. He doesn't take it. I don't know.
Meanwhile, Dave is scrambling around trying to get to the lantern. It looks like Dave is trying to get to one of the lanterns that you placed along the wall back in the hallway.
Oh, fire. Okay.
So we get back to, that brings us back to the top of the round, and the ghoul is like, you kind of see like it's basically sort of scooping and trying to put its intestines and guts back into its chest cavity.
We've all been there.
Yeah, like it's just that's a pretty serious hernia, to say the least. This is a bad one. And recognizing what its greatest threat is and who hit it the hardest, it turns its attention towards Shenzi,
Come at me, bitch.
the Slayer.
That's what I say, verbatim.
All right. Leaps at, and that is a 51. That will not hit. It sort of
Oh.
jumps up and tries to like gnaw on your shoulder, but you're able to like put your hand on it and keep the jaw out of the way. It's just sort of like keeping away like a really angry dog, like sort of pushing back at it. You're not able to get it, and you realize like it smells so bad when it gets close. Like clearly there's something, wrong with this person, and that brings it.
Hey guys, I don't think this is alive.
Good job.
That brings
It's
us
not
back
going well.
to yes. She actually breaks from singing Cranberries songs in order to indicate that it's not really alive. That it is in your, that it's psychosomatic. That it is in your head. In
Okay.
your head. All right, Lincoln, it's your turn.
Speaking of in your head, I'm going to try to stab it in the back of its skull.
All right,
Oh, I like that.
all right. Go ahead and roll the dice for me.
You got it. That's a 27.
That is going to be a success. You're able to dig the sword in deep. It's exposed its back to you as it is running its claws at Shenzi. All right, roll me a 6-sided dice and continue to roll it if you roll 6s just like before.
That's a 6.
Keep rolling. Man, exploding dice.
That's a 2.
All right, so 8, and what is your combat bonus?
4.
All right, so that is a 12. All right. You're able to, you can kind of see it like sort of like slow down, and like it, you can tell just by hearing it that the ghoul swallows its dead, like brackish tongue. Like it's definitely like not in good shape, but somehow, some way, this thing is still fighting. This thing is not down for the count. All right. Shenzi, you're up.
There's a cat standing where I roll my dice, so
I have a cat that'll sometimes go behind me here too.
you touch it. 68. Oh no. It's the highest I've ever rolled.
Yeah. You missed it by 3%.
That's so annoying.
You were so close.
Hmm.
You're not able to get extension. You went some, sorry.
I'm blaming my cat.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I usually do too. It's difficult. You kind of like end up having to push Pam away from you. You're not able to get full extensions on your swings because
name's
she's
Pam?
kind of team. Mm-hmm.
Now
That was
I
what one
feel
of the
bad.
that was one of the notes said.
Yeah.
Mhm. That was Liam's wife's name. You're assuming. I guess I'm assuming too much by saying that, but
Oh, I mean,
All right.
Dave's been on point. I say, why not?
all right. So yeah, you're not able to make purchase on that. The nameless one, you're up. You want to keep trying to slice that?
I don't have a lot of options here other than my tiny knife. So maybe, can I like stab their hand to a wall with my tiny dagger?
Like try to pin, like basically crucify the ghoul to a wall?
Yeah, totally want to crucify Pam.
That's pretty metal.
Stab me with your tiny dagger.
So he only.
Let's calculate.
So yes, he can only Elton John songs from and Cranberries from Lincoln Bright Eyes, apparently. All right, yeah, give it a shot. Roll me some dice. I will count this as a sort of an attempt to subdue. So you're still doing it with your dagger.
25.
25?
Yeah.
You got it. You're able to. All right. You stab through. Let's do damage first because that is going to hurt. So roll the 6-sider and add your combat bonus to it.
Okay. 6-sider says 3.
And what's your combat bonus? What is your CB score?
I can't wait to tell you. It's 4.
All right.
Oh, +1.
Right. It should be totally okay. So
yeah, help me out here.
No problem. What is your base combat percentage score? Like
42%.
Okay, and then you have a +1. So
yeah.
your CB should be 5 actually.
It's 5.
All
That's
right.
what I meant to say. Excuse me.
No problem.
Plus
and you rolled
3.
what on the dice?
3.
All right. Just barely able to get it through this. The skin is kind of turned like black and rubbery, but you're able to push through and slam it into the wall. Let us see if the ghoul is pinned. The ghoul will attempt to use its brawn to see if it is locked against the wall or if it's strong enough to either pull out the board or is stuck there. And nope, that ghoul, it is not dead, but you have been able to pierce through, and you can see her kind of scrambling against it, and Pam is stuck to the wall. A knife stabbed through her right hand, her claw sort of extended. She's trying to flex it and get off the wall. She's still wildly waving about with her left hand, but has been stuck against the wall there. So that has happened. And
I feel good about it. I feel like it's my greatest contribution.
Hey, it's a really good one. There's always help. And Jack, we are to you. What do you want to do?
Okay, so I think we should light it on fire.
It's not a terrible idea.
And I would like to try to light it on fire.
All right. Do you want to grab the I should say Dave has actually was able to get one of the torches and is holding it. Do you want to take the one of the lanterns from Dave and attempt to burn the ghoul?
Yeah, please toss me that. Dave, thanks.
All right. Because the Nameless has pinned the ghoul in place, it will not be able to evade the lantern. The only chance it had would be to dodge, but it cannot do it because it is stuck in place. So we're going to go ahead and count that as an automatic hit. Fire to the ghoul does 2d10 plus 4 damage. So roll 2d10 and add those together.
63. Plus.
6 on 3. Yep. 9 plus 4, 13 points.
And 6 and 3.
Yeah,
there we go.
No problem. And with that, you kind of see it seize up and continue to try to climb out, but seemingly an immediate version of rigor mortis sets in, and still pinned against the wall, you see Pam burning, smoking, terrible smell, sort of lean up against the wall and slump down, one arm in the air as if she's testifying. A very hideous sight as the ghoul is dead.
R.I.P.
It is a thing.
We won!
For sure. You successfully defeated the ghoul.
I'm a hero.
That being said,
You did it.
That being said, the danger is not over because there is now, first of all, whatever else is happening and whatever hideous monstrosity exists outside or in this, There is also a broken oil lantern on the ground inside of a wooden house.
That could present a problem.
I'm sure it'll
Oh,
take
there's
care of
all this
itself.
like blood. Maybe it soaks it up.
Maybe.
Yeah, blood isn't like flammable.
There's a whole tub of blood, if I remember.
Let's just throw blood on it.
You
There's a
can-
tub of blood.
Maybe Dave. I don't know. Can Dave? I don't know where we're at. Maybe Dave can grab that.
Dave would be able to do that, but I'm not going to let the NPC accomplish the task in this case. But what you have is not a terrible idea. Like, it definitely looks like if you've ever like spilled like oil or like a charcoal grill, and you can see it sort of like burning on a surface. Like
My
before
brawn
it
isn't
burns
that bad.
out.
I can try to get
Yeah.
it.
I think we have 2 halflings, a drunk person and a young lady with no name. We could maybe like all grab a corner of this tub.
Yeah, can we try that, please?
You want to try to take the whole tub?
Or we have buckets. There's
Discuss
buckets.
it. There is at least one bucket in there, but you guys should discuss that in character among yourselves. Is what you want to do.
Hey guys, who should I go grab the bucket or what?
Yeah, but maybe let's try that.
Okay.
I feel good about this. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So tell me what the plan is here. You're gonna just take the bucket, fill it up, bring it back, dump it on the fire to put it out.
Yes.
All
Or
right.
should we like fire brigade, like pass it off to each other?
Oh.
That's a good
I
idea.
like that. Good thinking.
Pass the bucket of the blood upon the side.
All right. So who wants to be the leader of organizing this task? It's not like the weight of the bucket is going to be too much for any of you to handle. But who's going to organize everyone to make this happen? I will say, just to help you guys with the game, we'll consider this a fellowship skill, which is your charisma. So whichever of you specializes in fellowship should probably take the lead.
Do any of y'all got that?
I got it.
The drunk will lead us
Settling
all.
in okay? Yeah. Are you both
I got it.
dead? Yeah. Yep.
All right.
So yeah, I'll
Continue
take
with
the bucket. I will
the
scoop it
visual
out. I
outdoors
will pass it on
environment.
to whoever's next in line.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's no us better than
The
we
most
know
important
ourselves.
part is just that you're
10
able to
signs you're
basically
invading someone's
effectively
personal
communicate
space.
to them what you're trying to do.
So
like
I
you're
understand
setting
you
up
were
a
in a bad
fireworks
place
line.
yesterday. It's only
So
weird
go
if you
ahead
do.
and roll me a leadership check, which will be under your fellowship skills.
Wild.
Now,
But he used to
failing
be
at
our
this will
history
not
professor.
necessarily fail for you to get the bucket to it. It will just determine how quickly you get everybody organized,
He got
I mean,
really
aren't they
mad.
all?
whether you can put
He
it
got
out
really
before
mad when
any
capitalism
damage is done
crumbled
to
the
the
last
house.
of the social.
Sure.
Anyway.
I rolled
So what about
a
petty officer?
23.
I'm gonna say, I'm guessing that your
My-
leadership check is higher than a 23.
My fellowship is 49.
Easily, Lincoln Bright Eyes organizes you all into a line where you're a few feet apart, and you're able to heft up a bucket of what you can only assume is probably this lady's original blood based on the clues that you've received, and then proceed to douse her in the fire in her own blood.
We're just putting you out with you.
Yeah. Now what's metal, you know?
If you haven't noticed, Zweihander RPG is pretty metal. It's a lot of really like grotesque viscera and like dark themes. But all right, I will say because of that, you kind of the blood brushes away and it sort of spills about. You get more of it on each of your shoes than you'd want to. Like it's hard to avoid. But you're very grateful to realize that, especially considering the horrors that are outside and how few safe places there are, that the house is undamaged by singe or smoke.
I've been
Nothing's
covered in
on
blood
fire.
this whole time.
Yeah,
Not that
not
bad,
even-
guys.
Nothing on fire.
I'm very appreciative because, as you know, this is my house.
Your house.
It's rapidly declining in value on Zillow as we speak.
I'll see about that.
It's got the Sunnydale like drop in real estate values from being on top of a hellmouth or whatever.
Listen, I didn't really want to live here anyway. It's more of a fixer-upper.
It's going to be a pretty good fixer-upper. So as that happens, you're able to put the house up, and you clearly are now hearing like whatever the commotion that has happened in here. You start to hear rattling on the outside of the house from multiple directions. Something or someone has run up to the house and is like, you ever had your cat or dog locked out of a place and you hear like the scratching on the door, like as they're trying to get in? Imagine that, but with, you'd guess, probably 6 to 10 full size. Imagine if your cat was angry and not afraid to hurt itself. Imagine if your was a halfling sized or bigger and was throwing itself at the walls. Like, it's a well-built place, and they're not able to find purchase yet, but clearly they are trying to claw their way through the barricades and into the house.
They're clawing the house, I say.
Under the bed, where she was buried under the floorboards under the bed. There's not like a tunnel down there or like anything like that, a weird basement thing. Could we hide?
It kind of looks as if it goes a little deeper than what you can see by the naked eye. One of the things that you're kind of a little bit in the dark now because you took the lantern from the wall in here and dashed it against the creature. There are lanterns in the other rooms, though.
I don't know about those.
You can't quite see down in there. It smells like rotting meat, though.
Great.
Coming from that hole.
Love it. All right,
What do you
what's
want
up?
to do?
All right,
What do
well, we
you-
need more diary pages, but we should also, it seems like these guys only come out at night when all that red mist descends. So maybe we should hide until morning, try to find some diary pages and get the fuck out.
I think it's
So-
like midday now, isn't it?
Actually, he's right. It's like early afternoon.
Just kidding.
It's very
Leave
dark.
at
but
nightfall.
It's,
I like to believe that Jack really said that though.
Yeah.
And that we all were just like,
That's not smart.
Jack, you've been through a lot.
Well-
I understand there's a lot going on. I think maybe you're distraught.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry about your aunt.
I have the
Understandable.
vapors.
And it definitely is darker in the house than it should be because you'll remember that Liam actually like barricaded up all of the windows. So
That's
Yes,
right.
I'm
I'd like to
very
grab a
stupid.
lamp and look in the hole.
In the hole.
all right. Grab the lamp and continue to look around. All right.
Yep.
Is anyone going to remain in the bedroom and look at what Liam buried underneath the bed?
That's what I just said I want to do.
Oh,
I
I thought you
wanna
said the
grab a
hallway. I'm
lamp.
sorry.
Yeah, I want to
I'm
grab
sorry.
a lamp and then do that.
Okay, gotcha.
Two-step.
Gotcha. All right.
I'd like to take Dave back to where the creature's slamming itself against the door and just kind of like make sure that doesn't get in.
All right. Yeah, it's I'll resolve that first. So it's coming from multiple angles. Different places of the house. There's multiple things that are doing it from multiple spaces. Do you want to try to find maybe what seems like the weakest point to defend?
I think me and Dave should be in like the most central part of the house, just kind of like on sentry mode, just like making sure that we don't see anything busting through any walls.
Got it.
Really, I feel like I should be in the center, and you guys should patrol the perimeter of the house, and that way maybe I climb Dave's shoulders. You know, there's a lot of things that we could do with Dave.
All right. While they're
I'm really
discussing
interested
that,
in
we'll go
looking
back to
outside.
Shenzi and see as you approach with the lantern and reach down into the hole. You see.
Shine a light for the world to see.
All right. The first thing you immediately are able to see is I just no-sold the shit out of that. I'm sorry. That was
It's
really
fine.
rude.
They laughed, and that gave me what I needed. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm with the no sell.
No, just I was so
It's a gleeful slayer. They really enjoy their work. You know.
yeah.
It's true. Love my job. It's not even a job. It's a career. It's a calling. You know.
Do what you love, Shenzi.
I do.
The
Itchy
first thing you're
butt
really
pants.
able to you see rot, basically. You see, like, the first thing you're able to see is what look like a lot of, like, pieces of rice. Like, when you kind of realize that it's dead maggots that are, like, lining on the ground. Like, not even living ones, even though there seems to be, like, still, like, pieces of, like, flesh here. There are packages that were carefully bound and buried here that were sort of ripped into, like an animal got into them and has strewn, like, viscera and meat, like, all around this hole. A few other things. Looks like what probably was some personal effects. Maybe even what looks like maybe a lockbox, maybe with some valuables in it.
Okay, but nothing indicating that the hole is any bigger than what I can leave. Like nothing like a tunnel or anything like what Jack was talking about.
So you're going to kind of look to the sides and see if you see where the dirt is broken.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, go ahead and roll me an awareness test.
Shit.
It's in the
What's
perception. It's perception.
Well, I failed because I got a 71.
Well, you are definitely able to see that it sort of looks like, very crudely, like a sub-basement in a house. Like, dirt has been disturbed, and it definitely does go down a path that would lead to the outside of the house.
Oh.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like it was done by a creature. It looks like a mole was here or something almost.
Okay, can I pick up the lockbox as well?
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Yep. Carry that.
Is there a will in that?
Might have to find out. All right, so back to the main room where the rest of you are trying to set up a guard, sort of looking in all directions, figuring out where the weakness might be coming from. As Shenzi is sort of half holding the lantern down into the hole to see if, to get a really good sight to see if there's something that is dug up, basically a tunnel, underneath the house, your eyes start to adjust a little bit to the darkness, which, Lincoln, now that you're in here, you see that right away because you have the ability to see in the dark as you are elfin. But it becomes clear, especially when this room has no light, over in the corner of the room, one of the windows is not as barricaded up as it should be. There's light coming in. And you aren't sure if that was there before, but there's definitely a hole.
Oh no.
Yep. There is a weakness.
Gotcha.
All right. So we go in there. All right. What do you want to do next? You've got another round basically before things start to happen again.
Thanks for the heads up.
Something is about to go down. For one thing, a lot of the clawing around the house goes suspiciously silent.
That is not good.
Hey, do you guys notice how quiet it got?
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a bad thing. I am too that is a bad thing.
As a slayer, I concur.
Great. Y'all? Anything?
There's I found a hole in the window. We just FYI, everyone, there's a hole.
All right, so who's down for hiding?
Oh, well, in this hole here, there's like a path, sort of.
Let's go there. Yeah. Also, I saw you take that lockbox.
Yeah. I feel we have important things right now, and I don't know how to pick a lock anyway, so don't worry.
I just thought you
But
should know.
I know how to pick a lock.
Do we want to do that right now, or do we want to, it's up to you.
Okay, let's go. Let's scurry. Scurry.
Can Dave fit in this hole that you found?
100% not. There is no way that Dave could fit through that
Could
hole.
we put Dave in the hole that you found?
Dave could be the door.
No,
You know?
no. Dave and holes don't jive right now.
So,
Okay, well then never mind.
are you guys thinking about doing the Lambert from Aliens, like shoulder crawl through the like dark hole with like crazy like undead like foul demons around? Is that what we're thinking?
We were going to, but Dave can't crawl with us, so no.
We can't sacrifice Dave, so
Okay,
mean-
well, what if the fighters stay and the non-fighters explore, and let us know if you find something that's not death?
you want us to split up?
That's
Oh,
what I'm
that
saying.
always goes well in horror movies. It always
No!
ends up exactly
I
the way
feel
you
like
want
that's
it
the
to.
worst idea you've ever had.
And you are
Okay.
not
My
even
life.
having ideas.
I'll do it. I'll go in the thing. I'll go check it out.
No.
Yeah,
There it
it'll be
is.
fine. I'd like to go and get my knife back from that corpse of your aunt before I do that.
You can easily retrieve the knife. You pull the knife from the hand, and
Yeah.
it sort of comically flops onto the ground and then
Mhm.
onto its side. It's undignified.
I mean,
It's undignified.
yeah.
Frankly, it's undignified.
All
You
right.
guys aren't going to give me that box to lockpick, then I'm just going to go see what else is around here because
Oh,
wait,
fine. Wait. What if there's something in it that could help? What if there's something in the box? What if there's something in the
Zombie repellent.
Yes.
I'll open the box. I just think that I should get first dibs on something in there. And it's opening it. That's all. I just want to put that out there before I use my skill, you know.
We're not opening the box. Turns out we've decided that we're not opening the box. And
Well,
instead,
How quickly this team fell apart.
we're going to throw it at the ground.
As
and hope-
soon as there was something to
Whoa.
have.
this has been my. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm a thief, and I don't make friends very quickly. So,
Okay.
pour it all.
If I get the
I just
will,
met y'all today.
if I get the
I
will to
already
this
killed it.
house, you can open it.
Okay, if there's a will, you can have it. But
Okay,
if there-
fine. Then yes, you get first dibs of what's in the box.
Besides the will.
Besides the will.
What's in the
Chenzi, can I have that box?
Alright.
I'm pretty sure I can open this, by the way. I haven't really looked at it yet.
You have thieves
I'm
tools.
glad we
and
had this
you have
talk.
yes, the skullduggery skill will let you open this box.
Guys, I opened it. You know?
Great.
Yeah, you can automatically succeed since there is nothing threatening you at the moment. You're able. It's a very simple. Like
Turns out
this is
wasn't
not
even
a
box.
wealthy farmer.
It was-
This is not the D&D farmer who's actually like a level 20 ranger who has like
Yeah.
magic weapons. This is a farmer's house.
It was actually.
He
just press
doesn't.
this
He
right
has
here.
nice things. He has that one. He has that one sentry safe lockbox that every indie promotion has to keep their money in the same exact box.
I just use a Crown Royal bag.
Crown Royal bag.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Once she handed us envelopes, and we were all so shocked that we were like, "What?" Like literally, everyone was like, "The fuck is this?"
Yeah. Everyone
That's
prefers
hilarious.
the drug dealer handshake with the cash in it.
How'd you fit this in the Crown Royal bag?
I actually
time
have envelopes
he gave me my
with a
laptop.
personalized, like with a company logo stamp on them. I kid you
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
We are
I mean, I
super fancy.
So what's in the box?
Glam is new.
All right.
This isn't what we're
Yeah,
talking
continue.
about. It's not about
Continue.
whether I'm not fancy enough.
No. It's okay. It's on brand. Everybody has to have their thing. All right, so you pop it open.
Hey, man, what's in
Hey,
the
pop
box?
it open. John Doe has the upper hand. Is what's in the box. Anyway.
You got
Yeah,
Brad
thank you,
Pitt's
thank you.
wife's head.
Spoiler alert for those of you. What if somebody hadn't seen Seven and you just ruined it for them?
Well, they
Okay.
didn't know it was that movie till you mentioned it.
All right. That's true. Okay. It looks like there is definitely a few papers with the various writings on them. There
Okay.
is a few loose gold coins. Looks like he did keep some petty cash in here.
Okay.
It looks like a couple of pieces of jewelry that might be worth something, but mostly it is paperwork.
Is any of it in that secret thief language that only I know?
No.
Okay. I don't really need these papers, so Jack, here you go. Maybe that'll help you. And I like this jewelry. I'm just gonna.
Okay, cool.
You kind of realize like that it has become eerily quiet with the
No.
wind down. And the only thing you could sort of hear other than the rustling of papers is that Dave's breathing is starting to get a little labored.
So we opened a box.
Dave is stressed out by what's happening. He's
Like
not
it's
really
not in the
paying much
bathtub?
attention. Everything is here has definitely not been great for Dave.
Dave, can I offer you some gold coins to feel better? Would that help if I give you one? Some of those too, I guess.
Like, something's happening.
No?
Something's here. And he's kind of sniffing at the air.
Great. Ogre senses. I don't have those.
I actually
Okay.
do, and I didn't notice anything, so it's weird. My danger sense didn't say anything. I don't know.
All right.
I have.
Nah.
Dave, what do you feel? What are you talking about? What do you mean something's here? Tell me in your ogre language.
I don't know. You could hear it, right? It was here before. Something is here.
Well, that's not new information. You know, Dave, just something was already here. And if you don't have something good to contribute, I don't know if you need to.
But okay, wait. Did something as in like something crawled through this hole, or would we have seen something crawl through the hole?
He probably would have seen something crawl through the hole. I think that whole interaction happened in the bedroom, so that gap. You do notice as you look back towards the hole, though, that some of that reddish pink fog is able to come through the gaps. And now even some of it seems to be, just a little wisp of it seems to be coming up underneath the floorboards where it's been dug up.
I'd like. Am I strong enough to move the bed to cover that hole?
Yeah, it's the bed kind of sits up off the ground by legs, so it would still have a gap. But there are the floorboards that Dave ripped up. If you want to put those back.
Yeah, or turn the bed sideways.
Oh, are you saying like overturn the bed, like turn the bed over? Yeah, you could give it a shot. You're pretty strong, right? You have a pretty high brawn score.
I do. Okay.
You want to give that a shot?
Yes. Suck me up the butt. No, I failed.
All right. You attempt
You
to lift
tried to
the
lift
bed
it?
and flip it, but it's the posts of the oak frame are actually slipping in the blood. That's the
Oh,
problem.
guys,
that
it's
you're
too much
having.
blood. I promise I'm very
Slippery.
strong. though. That's
Oh,
what I-
we are running out of time.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe? Okay. So, God damn it. Where's the investigator? Why isn't he investigating?
Strangely quiet, all,
Yes, he's
like, what's up?
he's in an undisclosed location today.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll get Dumas involved. He is at a very safe distance, sort of been looking carefully, and you see him like very what he thinks of as discreetly reach some sort of powder or substance up to his mouth and like lick something off of his finger. He's clearly taken an intoxicant of some kind, and you see like he sort of gets that dead stare. He gets the heroin lean, or he sort of like falls against the side of the house, and he immediately turns to the other ones and he's like, turns to all of you and says, "I think I know what's happened."
Oh,
They found an easier target. And as he says that, you remember that there was a team of 10 that came with you back on the road, and that perhaps they are in terrible, grave danger, that perhaps the danger that was here has gone after them, and they are exposed out in the open and are almost certainly in very, very bad danger if no one goes to help them.
Wow, that's terrible for them.
That's so bad for them.
So sorry,
That's my
sorry
thought
to hear
too.
that. Let's pour
I'm so
a little
sorry.
liquor out for them.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Dave, do you want to go with me to save the fucking people?
Are you
God,
serious?
Lame.
morality.
Lame.
You're saving us now with your presence.
Dave definitely feels and says, I don't know that if we can save them, but I think we should at least try to warn them and give them a chance. I hope Sophie's okay with Dave's decision here, but that's the question you face. Do you want to hole up in here and solidify this domicile against the ghouls, or do you want to try to save their lives?
We should bring torches.
That's a very good. Yeah. I don't want to just wait here.
Dave
till
won't
they
go
come-
alone. He's not going to just go throw himself onto the funeral pyre if the rest of you don't want to go. He's not by any means a masochist. But,
Dave should do things because Dave wants to and not worries. You know what, Dave? Yeah. I'm not waiting here. If you're going, you're my best defense, so I'm going to.
Yeah.
Benzie, no offense. I just saw you slip fighting a bed, so I think I'm going to go with you.
Wow, that's really hurtful, Miss tries to cut a tendon of a ghoul. Like, that's gonna work, but okay.
Whatever, I crucified that ghoul.
Let's
Okay.
get rid of our only shelter that might prevent the ghouls from getting us, and let's just go out in the open and die. I think that's a way better plan, everyone.
I thought you liked
I
to
think-
kill things.
I do
Yeah,
love to
it's
do
like-
things in my own time. Why don't we open the front door and just let them come in one by one, and we can just.
What if we just lit them all on fire? What if we
Oh,
made
yeah.
Molotov cocktails?
I like that.
I mean, I was going to tell y'all to poke them with your swords through the things, but I think they've walked off now. We for them to come back. Let's come back.
And they're just like, this is a very angry house.
It's to be fair, all of you have experienced a pretty substantial amount of stress. It's kind of a thing. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue searching the house? Do you want to have Jack read the papers and see if there are any clues that could help? Do you want to fortify, or do you want to go and try to save the others? You have a lot of options.
Oh yeah,
Why
I
don't you guys
agree.
help me
Agree.
instead of picking
Yeah.
on them? I'm a halfling.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Right. So why don't one of you help me put this bed into place while Jack reads the letter?
Okay, cool.
The story while we work. Okay.
Yes.
That's nice. I like that.
All right.
All right.
Going
I'll
through the
help you.
papers, the first thing that you do find is the deed and will and testament of Liam and
Excellent.
Pam. It is, however, not completed or filled out or signed. They had not decided upon an error and not completed their work before whatever happened to them happened.
Well,
But that being said, you're the only person that knows that.
yeah, and I just so happen to be next to Ken. So guess what? That's all tied up with a neat little bow.
You are not their only kin. I think that is worth noting. They have other kin.
Hey, nameless one.
But
How's your forgery?
I actually have the skill of counterfeit.
Fantastic. Well, how about after all of this, we have a conversation about an agreement that we could come to, so you can make this all legit for me.
Darkness descends.
I
But it's
can do
okay.
this.
It is okay. It is, it's something you can do. Elsewhere in the lockbox, you find just various, some really bad poems that he wrote.
Yes.
Some really bad poetry.
I recite one out loud.
I didn't write it, but let's just say it's really, really bad. It's a Vogon poetry bad from the Hitchhiker's Guide. It's atrocious.
Are they love poems or?
Jack, would you like to tell us the poem?
Roses are red. Ducks are sometimes green. I have large ears.
Make the ladies
That
scream.
means exactly what you think it means.
I don't get it.
I thought this was bad poetry. I don't know. I thought. Your uncle was pretty good before we killed him.
All right, everyone. We will not, in fact, be back for Zweihander episode 4. We will be banned from the Twitch platform. No, I think we will. The adult flag will turn on from here on.
Slide through.
We're okay.
Oh, I wrote it down so that someone can send it to us.
If children understood that, that's not my fault.
That's not. I don't.
Hey, Walter, you said that Dumas did drugs off of his finger, right? It was like a powder off of his finger.
He looked like it. Yeah, he dipped his. He keeps taping a dip from like a little like vial that he thinks he has secretly hidden in his bag, but all of you have traveled with him long enough to see it.
Okay, so I'm gonna discreetly lick his finger also when he's not looking at me.
How does one discreetly do that? How does that happen? How does
behind him with his hands down and
I have never once discreetly licked anyone's finger. I don't know how.
I have not lived my life, Walter.
It's discreet on the approach, not in the end. All the way to.
Dumas gonna learn not to lean with one finger up against walls anymore. He's gonna learn not to stand like that.
You all gotta learn sometime.
You're just gonna there's no way you're gonna be able to discreetly do that. He's gonna notice you doing that. So if you want to lick his finger, that's a conversation you and he will have to have, but I'll let you do it.
Okay, cool. I did it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to sneak that one. All right.
He's nodding off, isn't he?
My wife is
why not?
laughing in the other room.
I feel
She
like I could go
finds this all
Weekend at Bernie's
completely fucking hysterical.
My face hurts.
So, yep, you find that you get definitely get it's going to take a few seconds, but as you do, you start to get that feeling that everybody in the world is giving you a compliment, that you are awesome, and that the world loves you, and that these things aren't anything to be afraid of, and everything is super great.
It's like I got two Q-tips in my ears.
Like everyone thinks you're amazing and tells you how handsome you are.
Finally.
It's just what I've been looking for. So, that being said, there is the 5th page of Liam's journal as well. In that. So, Jack, as you finish reading through his material and after you've read his terrible poem, which clearly came from his blue period.
I thought it was.
All right.
Beautiful poetry.
And then we turn back to the sad, where he's like, Pam is too far gone. There's no giving her what they want. They're not sated. I'm getting so sleepy. I hope everyone is safe. Please don't come here. This isn't transition to an afterlife. I am hell. I am not an agent to guide my way to peace. Peace does not come for those like us. I was right. This is our forever home. And the page is updated.
Wow. That was sad.
So he finished on a very down note. But that being said, it is still silent out there. And your danger sense, Nameless One, indicates that it feels like there's probably a pretty clear path if you can get there quickly and get out. You feel like you could probably make it and make it back without
I don't know how to
being
explain
torn
this
to
you.
shreds.
I have a gut feeling we can get in and out and handle this. And maybe they'll reward us with more jewels. And it's worth it to me. And again, if Dave's going, I don't really feel safe with you, Shenzi, anymore. Again, the bed thing, no big deal. But Dave's going, I'm just going to go too. That's all. And I think maybe I could really put a path on this one. I feel good about it.
I'll go that way. Yeah.
All right.
I'll go.
I've just been insulted, so I'm not gonna go.
Twice.
All right. So are you going to stay here and guard the house and potentially like ransack it while they're out of the out looking
Yeah,
for
I'll be gathering
survivors?
all the lamps so
You're
that
gonna
we're
stay here and
ready to
gather
go.
lamps? Slayer?
Oh yeah, we were gonna make fire
Torches.
things for weapons,
Molotov
fire
cocktails.
weapons. Yeah, Molotov cocktails.
All right. So basically, you're going to see if you can raid a liquor cabinet to find some alcohol. See if you
I
can
trust
find a
the
liquor cabinet.
this business. Yes.
That's smart. That is good thinking. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Let's see how many you can find. You got to do it pretty quick, otherwise you'd have time to really get more.
I
What'd
had
you
a
roll?
91.
All right. Well, I'll still let you find. You find 2 bottles that have enough liquor at them that you can stuff cloth in them and turn them into makeshift weapons. You feel that there's probably more. Does anybody else want to scrounge for liquor bottles?
Oh, I have liquor already. I'm fine.
Do you want to waste it?
It's not a waste if I drink it.
We're throwing it at ghouls.
Yeah, you're not. This isn't for drinking.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
Everything's great. Life is a compliment.
All right,
right.
so let's go fight a horde of zombies with these 2 Molotov cocktails.
All right. You got 2 Molotov cocktails. Who do you want to give them to? Who's going to hang on to them?
My aim's not great. Who knows how to use a ranged weapon?
Nope.
But I kind of have a bad eye, so
Right, depth perception. What about Dave? Tall.
I prefer to bring it in close and then crush it, but I could probably make it work.
I'm up close
Okay.
person.
I
I
like
can
the
throw
idea
things
of a
hard.
Catapult arm, just really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have faith in that. Okay, cool. Well, nobody else wants to look for a bottle?
I mean, I'll peek around. I'm just standing around anyway. I'll take a peek. Is there any more alcohol around this place?
Yeah, roll me a perception check. Roll your perception dice.
That's what I was gonna say.
All right, and then we'll head on.
It's 87.
Nope.
Nope.
You actually found the 2 that she found were the only ones. You can't see where there are any others. You would have found the same 2 she did. All right. Do you want to go and reopen the door that you barricaded against the first thing that tried to kill you here, and head back out into the open mist with the uncertain future ahead of you?
Totally.
Sure.
I mean, when you put it like that, yes.
What about you,
Whoa,
Slayer
my
Shen?
guess.
Will you join us, or are you still?
Nope.
trying to fight
I just met you.
maybe
You feel
round
like you
2?
insulted me. I'm good. You have fun dying for 10 people I've never met. I'll be guarding the base.
You
I did
know,
nothing. The furniture is your enemy.
that is a really good.
Have fun. Have fun.
The couch ghoul. It's in the book. You should have looked it up. All right.
Well,
Who's going to swing the door open and brave the
oh,
outside?
I was gonna creep out and peek first.
All right.
More of the
So you
direction I was
take
going.
the barricades down from the door, and you release the latch, and you take the down, and you sort of creak the door open. Of course, it's groans, because that's what doors in old farmhouses that are exposed to the elements do. And as you do so, it kind of, you face out into this like reddish, thick mist, and it just sort of feels like taking in like a deep like breath of smoke, like that kind of like you sort of feel it sort of rush in, like the pressure changes, like it's almost popping your ears.
Is it spores?
I mean,
Yeah.
hard to say. It doesn't seem to really like it kind of tickles at the lungs for a minute, but it doesn't make you cough or anything like that. You hear nothing. Everything seems at peace out here, at least in the immediate. So what is, however, very clear is that none of you can see more than like 10 feet through this. It's like that it's like that fog that gathers near a river or the bay whenever it's that perfect temperature, when you get that thick, full haze. Think of that, where you can't see anything for more than a few feet.
What does it mean?
Y'all get on out this door now.
Stay out of this. This is not
comes
us
and
thing.
gives you a drop kick from behind to send you out the door.
Yep. And I slam the door shut.
Into the mist.
Okay.
All
I
right.
see that this is a little bit bad out here. I don't know. I still feel like I can maybe guide us through this if we stay close. I'm gonna I don't have this, pull it over both eyes and try and blindly follow my gut. Kumite.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. There is actually a navigate skill. Does anyone have that that skill?
I
That's
don't even have that in
useful.
real life.
No.
Or if anybody has a high stat in that could also work. Are there other ways you could potentially listen for danger?
I think I would just try and follow my awareness gut or perception.
Eavesdrop for danger.
And
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Shenzi, what are you going to be doing as soon as they head out into the mist, into the fog?
I'm trying to barricade the house and gather all of the lamps that I can find into one easy to reach location.
All right. I hate to ask the question, but are you going to lock them out of the house?
Yes. We can come back.
Okay.
Or like cat.
Okay, you're not barricading the door in a way that it cannot be opened easily.
Yes,
You're just locking the door. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta say, you've already become their arch villain. It's all right. Somebody has to.
That'll teach you to insult strangers. But no, I will not barricade the door. I will
That's,
just.
It was pretty
That's
bold
very
of me
nice of you.
considering you're covered in blood.
I know. What were you thinking?
it was.
What is
yeah.
happening?
She, it's easy. I'll say for in Shenzi's defense, lives a very hard, very matter of fact life. Has seen a lot of stuff and killed even more.
Oh, thanks for coming to my defense, narrator.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hear
Trying
these
to,
stories.
I gotta humanize you with a. There's a montage. There's like a quick clip of like all the things that you've seen and done.
Just constant chopping.
Yeah, it's just a loop of that same thing. It's a clip show from the second episode, like Clerks. Okay, so you kind of make your way to the mist. You all have to stay very, very close to each other, and the nameless one will attempt to guide you through the mist. Why don't you go ahead and roll me that perception check?
Sure. It's 48% plus 1, so that's 5 plus what I roll. Is that right?
Just 48.
Okay.
It's 40. You want to roll under 48 on your dice.
I rolled 36.
You succeeded. You remember the way back, even though it feels like this day has taken 4 weeks, because by game time it has. But you kind of make your way back there, and you feel like you're making your way towards the road, to the point where you can even hear like whispers, and suddenly you hear the many men talking to each other, and they're sort of engaging you in, what does that sound? In nervous laughter. like they're just sort of interacting and talking to each other. It feels like whatever danger is coming has not come upon them yet.
Okay, can I talk to them? Kind of like shout out?
Want to yell out? Yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, like, are y'all all right? Have y'all, there's ghouls about. Can anyone tell you?
What? You hear yelled back like,
Ghouls.
there's no
Scary
such thing.
ghouls.
There's no such thing, fool. You've been reading too many stories. This fog is playing tricks on your mind.
Just became one.
Right.
No.
You kind of hear them sort of murmuring quietly to themselves, clearly realizing that something has happened. Like, all right,
Guys, they didn't really listen.
we will turn back. You should make shelter. We will leave this place. He says, thank you for the warning. Whatever it is, even if they were feeling like they were feeling uncertain in this. And you also know that there's no way that they could take shelter with you in the house. The house just isn't big enough, nor does it have enough supplies for them.
They weren't invited.
Suddenly, sorry, what were you to say, Lincoln?
Oh, nothing. Also, yeah, they weren't invited.
They were, yeah. Well, they might have tried to follow you, but they're not going to.
Okay.
That being said,
You really dodged the awkward situation.
suddenly you hear like some commotion, some rustling, and you hear them scream like, who goes there? What has come? Clearly something is barreling through the wood. You can hear. And as you look up, you can see it. Wait, not it. You can see two of them, but they don't see you. And they are galloping on all fours through the mist at a distance of about 15 paces. It's like, as you look closer, you see that these aren't halflings. These aren't men. These aren't any sort of beast you've seen. These are two just domesticated dogs with their jaws like rotting off. There are two dogs that are running across the plain towards the group. And with that, you have found Liam's lost dogs that wandered away from him.
Great.
Finally.
And it is 6:55. So we are going to bring an end to chapter 3 of our adventure. And when we pick it up, it will be time to deal with even more ghouls and potentially be locked out of a house and maybe find more blood and maybe find the secret of this mist and fog and what comes next. So anybody you got something you want to promote to the folks at home who were so generous and nice to join us here today?
Thanks for hanging out with us, folks in the chat. We're reading the chat and we like you a lot. And thanks for all the bit spending.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I appreciate being able to talk with everyone involved. That's really fun for me. And also, yeah, I appreciate it. I kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't ready. Sorry. No one, but I just jumped in.
No, you're fine. Usually I call it awesome.
Yeah, if you're interested in buying merch from me or Chic, we're at birdswillfall.com. So check us out and enjoy buying stuff. Sheik would love to send it to you.
Quinn, you have something cool you're doing after this tonight, right? As I understand.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it.
Okay. Something secretive and cool that Quinn is doing. All right.
They should just follow you on Twitter to find out.
Oh yeah, just follow me on Twitter to find out.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, which is why I didn't say anything. I just sort of left that open.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, follow me at Quinn McKay.
But yeah, feel free to leave comments on the Reddit or on Twitter. Let us know what you're thinking of the game. I always ask the players what they want to see out of the game, and we kind of mold it from there. I'm having a ton of fun doing it. Honestly, it's nice to be able to have something to get out of the mundane routine of what every week looks like. And I really enjoy playing with all of you. So I can't thank you enough for taking time to do this.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and again thank you to everybody in the chat that Sarah is talking to, and I actually have my wife as my designated chat representative. She's in there because I can't pay attention to it while I do it because I'm not skilled enough at Twitch. But she's very kind. She's not really into like wrestling or role playing, so she's really quite a saint in general. I just wanted to say that. We're going to give a shout out to also to Casey Wrestling, who sponsors us with us every week. And Victoria, thank you so much. You're always very very useful and very cool. Glad to call you a friend of mine. So yeah, we will see you next time. Have a safe and wonderful week, and take care as we go into